What's up, guys? It is Will here back again for another episode of Lights Camera Collect every Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Keco Collects is here with me tonight, my amazing co-host of the evening. Keco, you have a gnat on your screen.
Yes, right before we got on here, and like I'm looking at him, he's staring at me, he's taunting me, and like I do not do bugs at all. I think we've talked about this. Like I can't be bit. I'm super allergic, but gnats are just like little annoying fucks, and that's what they are. And so I have this white screen on StreamYard here, and there's this little black speck just running around, just taunting me.
Dude, have you noticed they flock towards the lights?
Of
like
course.
with the gnat, yeah. Like with mine, like whenever I have the lights set up with the soft boxes and stuff, like there's gnats all over, like a couple of them on the soft boxes every time.
I hate flying insects. I hate insects in general. So I know this isn't an insect podcast by any means, or what's the entomologist, or entomology is officially the term for bugs. My father-in-law actually is an entomologist. So
really,
so it definitely helps. Like whenever he stops to visit, like he tells us all the terrible creepy crawlies that we have there and how to get rid of them. But we've not yet perfected how to eliminate the gnats completely.
No more visiting dad, it sounds like, because he's going to tell you all the gnat shit and all the insect shit that you just don't want to know. So you'd be like, Dad, we're not coming over anymore. We're not coming for dinner. We're going to the horse farm.
We're going to the horses. Yeah. Well, there's nothing but flies out there.
Exactly.
And do you know
That's true, man.
that the reason that they drop manure on farms is to stop the flies?
Really? Well, I remember, I know they use manure for what, fertilizer and stuff. So
but you drop it to kill the flies.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You know what I just found? This is gone totally off the deep end. And I just found out from some coworkers the other day that bats, you can put up like a bat house or whatever, and they eat all the mosquitoes. Like they eat like
thousands. Bat house. Then.
Yeah, they eat like thousands of mosquitoes in one day or something. And like you put up a bat house, and you might get a couple bats in there, and they'll just eat all your mosquitoes. And I'm like, I'll trade a couple bats for 1,000 mosquitoes.
Does it have to be outside? Or
for sure. Okay,
I didn't know if there could be like a bat door, that they can come and like hang or something like that.
I think you put it on top of like a shed or something, and then you might get a bat or a couple bats, and they just eat all the mosquitoes.
See, I'm down with bats. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I like Batman. So
yeah,
we're gonna talk about him. So it's gonna be fun. But guys, thanks so much for joining tonight. Sorry if I'm not in the best attire. I was just helping my dad move a sofa. So I'm here directly after doing that, after work. So guys, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. We got, a lot of fun topics about sort of the future of collecting, where it's going. Are we being bluffed? Are we not being bluffed? Is this the sign of things to come? Some waitlist things, Keco. So this is new. It's not brand new territory, but it's brand new for the last year. For the last, year and a half, maybe, with the things going on and all that. Did you catch it?
I don't know, but if you see me doing that a couple times, it'll be me trying to assassinate it. So
like
sorry about that.
Kiko took some PCP before the show. That's all it was. But guys, so it's gonna be a fun show. We got some cool topics on the docket. But happy to have you here, Keco, man. How you been overall besides the gnat?
Very, very busy. I was happy when you actually, two things, had a bachelor party, last weekend, which I am way too old to be doing, by the way. Was not thrilled about how I was going to perform, but I made it through that. It was also very, very hot and very, very humid. So I sweated a lot, and that probably helped, keep some of the alcohol intake, low, because, no one wants to like drink when you're hot. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's like when you're sweating, the last thing everyone's like, oh, just give me a tall, cool Budweiser, I'll be fine. But for me, like alcohol makes me hot. So the last thing I want to do is make me hotter. But yeah, we went to the Titans game, watched a little bit of preseason NFL, but then, did our bachelor thing, on Broadway. So that was fun. But yeah, when I was driving down there, I said, hey, I'm going to listen to the WillFoxification show. And I put that on there. I was driving downtown. I was like, oh, sweet. Listen to Will for a little bit. And then what do you know? You text me and it's like, hey, are you free on Friday? I'm like, see, this is the advanced warning that I like. The morning ofs, it's going to be tough to get me, honestly. Right. I'm not to be that guy or whatever. I got a lot of stuff going on sometimes. But when I got a week's notice, I plan for this now. Once the week starts, I started my Monday off knowing that I had this at the end of the week. So I'm doing great, man.
There you go, man. Well, happy to have you, dude. And I'm trying to get better about that because everyone who's been on the live streams knows sometimes you'll get a message like Sunday afternoon. Be like, hey, you free in like 5 hours? I know Dean and a bunch of other guys have gotten that from me. And Keco, I know I've done that to you before. So trying to get better about planning a little bit further out.
But you're a rare breed to where, I will do almost anything to be on the WillFoxification show. Bro. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, when you have live streams on your channel, I'm going to be there. So
maybe one day. I was actually, we may talk about that at the end, but I may be getting to that point because the whole social media game and this type of like YouTube type like content stuff.
Yeah,
I'm at a crossroad. We need to figure something out. So there could be some live streams in the future. So
yeah, I think the combination is not what I do. It's like to do what you do, like really good videos and then do a couple live streams. Like that's usually you do a little bit of both. I just do all live streams. So like it's, but I'll do some more things.
But the old school content, you have like your channel's older or whatever, because you had a bunch of like
2016
content where you used to like do like reviews or other things or whatever. I scrolled through and stalked at one point.
So there's there's a long catalog of different things, that I've done. Yeah, but mostly movie reviews. Yeah, so I'd love to get back to doing those again at some point. I did so many of them. But yeah, man, happy to have you here. Let's address the chat real quick and just hop into these topics. So Doc Smizzle, the moderator himself. What's up, Doc? Mr. Doc, is it going to be extra saucy tonight? Probably not. I don't. Maybe though. I mean, Kiko's here, so it's always possible.
Yeah, I'm drinking sauce right now, so we're good.
Yeah, it's true. Ryan's horizon. It's always extra saucy when Kiko is in the house, Doc. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Kiko is Mr. Sauce, if you will. Ash Chase, what's up, plastic crackheads? What's up, Ash? Carlos said, "Let's get this fucking shit rolling. I'm excited for this one." Well, thanks, Carlos. I appreciate it, bro. You said it in your own nice way, so I'll take it as a win. Christian Lopez, let's get it. Let's get it, Christian Lopez. Indeed. Alien Queen. What's up, Alien Queen? Plastic crack. I guess that's pretty much where we're at these days. So, I agree. Sayful, hello. Maniac Collects, channel member. What's up? And Carlos and Ryan Horizon, thanks so much for being channel members. Also, G17 Collectibles, don't we all just love a Friday? Hello to all. We do. It's Friday. It is the awesome Friday. Lights, camera, collect. Just bringing in the weekend, right? So, let's see. One sniff and you're hooked. Absolutely. Best friend, absolutely. Primetime Reviews. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Primetime Reviews? Lewis Lebitz. What's up, Lewis? What's up, crew? Enjoy the last weekend of summer. We shall. Carlos said, Will, cute water pistols. Bro, come on now. Don't hate on me.
I do love For Unfiltered Collecting. I love that name. That's fantastic.
Because of the what it stands for, FUC. So.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize that.
That's why
I love
he did that. Yeah,
well done. Once again,
troll,
Carlos,
bro.
hats off to that.
Yeah, he's a troll. Sell him the Ecto. That's all I can say, Carlos. Sell Kiko the Ecto for what he wants.
I should jump on that.
Yeah. DTR man, what's up? What's up, DTR man? Sayful Will Bama Clartification. Yeah, that Rosted thing, dude. Man, that thing's never gonna go away. Nathan Alker, Will's got the guns out. Absolutely, Nathan. Chris Santos. Hey, Will. Hope everyone had a good day. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? Daedric Prime, spectacular panel. Indeed. Thank you so much. AJ Agarusa. Thanks, AJ. Channel member AJ. Appreciate it, bro. Hello, my friends. Hope all is well. Feezy's Figures, what did you, Javier? Happy Friday. Let's CC, let's go. LCC, rather, let's go. Adamantium Wolverpool, your username always trips me up. Hey, guys, my favorite time of the week. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Art said, yo, what's good? Collector Joey, what's up, Joey? Let's see. Thalia Meyer, hello, everyone. Ryan's Horizons. Leighton Richards, hey, legends, how's it going? Thanks so much, Leighton Richards, for stopping in. I think that's pretty much it for now, Kiko. So, I want to jump right into this, Kiko. We're going to hit a little bit of news first because the news right now is Riva. And I never really knew how to pronounce her name. Is it Riva? Is it Reva? Does anyone really know? Because I hear it pronounced differently in every stream.
According to, if you're actually watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, it's Riva.
See, that's what I thought because it's too close to
Rev in, but Riva.
Yeah, it's too close to Rev in. So if you named her Reva, it's like that's one letter difference. Like that's too close, right? Star Wars is like, nah, we got to separate the brand a bit. So
I guarantee you that they picked that name simply because people will Google Rev in and they're just looking for the clicks because it'll autocorrect and autofill to Reva and it'll automatically pull it up. So I guarantee that was part of
I always thought it was Riva too. Like I thought in the show
Riva.
They called it Riva. And then I hear a lot of people say Reva, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Riva. Though.
And it may also be the way if it's a British person talking, he may call it something else. If it's a normal person talking, they may call it something else. So
yeah,
I think it's whatever you want it to be at this point, or we can just call it Third Sister, as the Grand Inquisitor would say.
Hello. I guess we can go. That's everyone. Everyone can agree on that pronunciation, Third Sister. So yeah, but Kiko, this one comes in at a pretty reasonable price nowadays of $260. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this head sculpt is really good. I think the tailoring looks pretty good. The accessories are pretty bare, but what more do you need? I feel like for her, I don't think you need that much. I don't know that this is necessarily a figure that a lot of people are going to go crazy for because it's a very polarizing, controversial Star Wars character. But what do you think, Kiko? Is this a standout or is it a lost in the shuffle type of figure here?
Is there a third option
What's that? Do
like kind
create
of
your
be
third
like
option.
in
Option three.
between the middle? Because what I'd seen is that a lot of people probably will get this to get a third party, second sister head sculpt to drop on it because the body's there.
Oh.
If you're a Fallen Order fan and you like Second
Hmm.
Sister, you like Trilla, all that stuff, then yeah, you probably can just get a new head sculpt and there you go. I mean, it's all perfectly set up for you there. But I, I think it's a really good figure. I mean, if I saw the things where it's got Vader, the Grand Inquisitor,
Hmm.
Reva Riva, depending on how you want it, and then flanked by two of the Purge Troopers, and that's an awesome display. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
So it's something I'm going to get, obviously, just because I pretty much get everything. But it gives me a lot of whenever you can do a head sculpt and a hair sculpt, because a hair sculpt, means a lot. I mean, because we've seen some bad hair sculpts out there on Obi-Wan specifically. That beard is atrocious with that lip, and I know we've talked about that.
Dude, it is. Why does everyone love that figure? Like,
I think there's just such a thirst to be able to say I
yeah.
have a Kenobi figure, but
Mm.
they did an exceptional job. And when you can put the details of those braids in there, I mean, Shuri is one of the best braided figures that are out there, and it
Yeah.
just shows you what's capable of someone intricately carving every single one of those braids. That's art. That's a piece of art. But this is a really cool silhouette. I mean, just the shoulders and all that. Even if you don't really like the character, I mean, that's a really cool Star Wars figure, I think. I don't think it's going to be right in the middle. Some people rush to get it. And then I think there's some people that'll get it just to troll. But I really honestly believe, I want to know, for all the people that complain about everything, I want to see what your collection's like, honestly,
Mm.
because it's either you never buy anything or you buy everything. I've never seen someone like that hates it's like Star Wars fans. The people that hate Star Wars the most are Star Wars fans. The
Yeah.
people
Right.
that like hate Hot Toys the most are the people say, I'm never going to buy a single one of these. Well, do you have any actually? Do you have any in hand? I would
Yeah.
love to be able to figure that out because the people that bitch about all these things are never going to buy it. They never will. But for the people that want to have a cool dark side figure, I mean, all black leather and red, I mean, that's cool. That's a cool shelf presence. So why not?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, Kiko, it's interesting because I really just don't like the character of Reva very much. I'm just going to put it bluntly. I don't think she was written well necessarily. I don't think she was
No, I'll
performed
agree with
well.
you on that.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm sure Moses Ingram is a very good actress outside of Star Wars. I mean, I've not seen her other body of work, so I'm not going to say she's a
Yeah,
bad
she's great
actress
in
or
Queen's
anything.
Gambit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I'm
Yep.
not going to say she's a bad actress or anything like that. I'm not willing to go that far with it, but I am willing to say that I feel like her work in Obi-Wan was very underwhelming. I felt, which is difficult to say because I think she was overall in a position where I think, it's a tough position to be in, I guess, because some people do want only Vader and Obi-Wan, right? I feel like that's where the show should have gone most of the time, but it ended up going in various different directions, most of which focusing on Reva. And I think that does put her in a little bit of a tough spot because she has to
Yeah.
prove herself like twice as much because people are like, who is this new person? I want to follow the Obi-Wan and Vader saga, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I want to go to. And she was, in a way, put up in a difficult position, but also like she still had opportunities to shine, right? And, I was talking to Carlos a little bit about this. And while the show isn't amazing overall, it has its moments, right? It has its moments. And there were moments where Ewan McGregor really shines in it. And the writing isn't always great in the show, right? And to me, it's just, I don't know. With Reva, the head sculpt is fantastic. I think it's really, really good. This is one of the better ones I've seen.
You
Hot
can
Toys put out.
objectively say that it's a work of art. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
this
one of
is
the
really
better
good.
ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really
And
good. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Gio. Sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say is that my buddy asked me, who used to be gung ho Star Wars everything. There's not a single episode that he would miss anything. I know this isn't shit on the Obi-Wan show, but he's asked me, he's like, I've not watched Obi-Wan. Do I need to? And I was like, honestly, you can probably watch the first episode and the last two, or the last half of the fifth episode and the last
Right.
one, and you'd be good. And that's it. And I would say that it's that last moment when she's not just screaming at people and little kids, where she really can shine as an actress. The broken, bitter person. She got to act and be a character at that point instead of just yelling at people. And I think that's what people just didn't like. It's just the yelling. It just seemed so forced, and I don't know. But yeah, will I be getting it? Yeah, absolutely. It's a sweet Imperial character. There's not enough bad guys out there, and the vote with your wallet type of thing. If you
Right.
want to see bad guys, do something about it. So, and if you're a Fallen Order person, get this and just get a new different head sculpt. I guarantee you, I will bet an Ecto 1 on it that there will be a Fallen Order Second Sister head to be able to drop on it. So there you go.
See, a Second Sister Keco I would have been all over because I really liked Fallen Order a lot. I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10 game, but it was very fun and enjoyable. And Second Sister was one of the best parts of it, if not the best part.
And some people say that, the third sister is just a repeat of that story. And it kind of is.
To honestly. A degree, it is.
To a degree. But I think the Inquisitors are cool. I think the concept is cool. And
yeah.
I mean, we can sit there and debate the show, all day. And I know that's not the whole point, but good figure, honestly.
Yeah, good figure, exactly, man. It's the type of figure for me personally, though, that I'm not really gonna have much interest in. And it's tough to gauge people's overall interest in it. I guess we'll find out over time. But it's tough, man. These polarizing characters are tricky to put a like an understanding of on. Like it's really tough. I was talking, I think, like I said to Carlos about this, and I was like, man. Like, for example, I actually think a Jar Jar Binks figure might sell. And people hated that character. Like, I agree. There was a lot of hate surrounding that character. But I'd probably buy a Jar Jar Binks figure, to be honest, because I think it would look really cool in a display.
I think it would too. And kind of what you'd said is that, so I think it was Carlos actually that mentioned Gilgamesh. Do you want to be polarizing or do you want to be non-existent? No one cares or gives a fuck about the Eternals or any of that line. At least I don't know anybody that does. But at least, you're making some progress and someone at least knows who you are. You mentioned the Obi-Wan show. You mentioned Reva. Everyone knows who you are. You mentioned Gilgamesh. No one cares. And so I'd much rather be hated than not known at all.
That's true. That's a good point. People remember Jar Jar Binks. So people watch The Room still. Okay. So, I mean, that goes to show you, right? But, it's for me, I've kind of gotten to the point where even if it's a really good deal, I still don't jump on it. Like they could offer this figure on Toys Wonderland for $150 and I still would not buy it just because I don't have the connection to the character. And to me, the space is more important than anything at the moment. And the money, I mean, it's a good deal, so you could always sell it for more later, but I'm not really willing to invest any money in a character that I don't really care about anymore. So that's just how I do it. But I do think this one's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, right? No doubt it's a great looking figure. So I think this is another one of those discussions, figure versus character, right? Because a lot of people didn't like the sequels, but the Rey and Kylo figures came out pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I have both of them. Yeah. I hate both of those characters, but I can't deny that the figures aren't incredible,
That's
and I have both of them.
And dude, like the Hellboy, right? The Hellboy came out really good. People hated that film mostly. So Alita was beloved and she came out pretty good. I'm just thinking of other characters like figure versus film. I mean, The Phantom Menace is not a great film, but people love Darth Maul.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly think the Clone Wars is what made him iconic, essentially. His story arc in that. But yeah.
I still love that what was it, DX-16, the Darth Maul from Phantom Menace?
16 and 17.
That's the best one still.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, just it's the both head sculpt. The yelling head sculpt is fantastic. I love that thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I think I'm mostly with you, Keco, as we wrap up this topic. I think she's probably somewhere in between. Yeah, I'm going to say that, she's probably somewhere in between. Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out over time.
Consensus middle of the road, then.
Middle of the road. That's where we are. Okay, so DC figures hit wait list. So, Keco, this seems to be not all DC, but it's been mostly. The quarter scale Boba Fett it happened with that today, actually. So, I'm going to start, actually, with a few DC figures, and then we'll kind of move over to that one. But is there a bluff happening here, or is this actually like the wave of the future? Because to me, this comes out May to July of 2023. So Q2 of 2023. That's like what, 3 quarters away from now? I mean, right? Because we're in like we're not even Q4 yet of this year, right? So this figure's still a ways away, and they've already put it on wait list. I find that kind of hard to believe. But Keco, what do you think, man, with these type of figures hitting wait list? Is this a bluff by Sideshow to like sort of create FOMO and get more acquire more pre-orders, or is this kind of like the way they're going to do things from now on? What do you think?
Man, I'd love to go get my tinfoil hat on this one, because this is a great topic. It really is. And I really do think that there is a lot of scheming that goes on behind the scenes. Go back and look at the comical, hey guys, only 3 more days to get this exclusive figure,
right?
And everyone bit that hook, line, and sinker. And they're like, oh no, and I'm gonna miss out on the hologram and all that type of stuff. But I thought that was a pitiful, piss poor marketing tactic. And I think people heard this show, obviously, and they changed their strategy to this. They're like, this is what we're going to do, guys. We are going to go and take some figures that people aren't really going to buy anyway, but we're going to say that they're going to be waitlisted, and it's going to get people panicked to where they're going to have to put their pre-orders in. I 100% think that this is a scam, and it's going to backfire again, because if they all go to waitlist, then your customer base is going to go elsewhere to get them. And so they just shot themselves in the foot again. If it only comes down to like the bottom line of like how much inventory they have on hand, how much money they can turn, then maybe there's something to that. They don't want to have a lot of product on hand. They said, okay, based on our sales, they've sucked recently, give me X amount, and that's going to be it, and that's all you're getting, then maybe. But I have a hard time thinking that the bat cycle is on waitlist. I mean, come on. I just do not believe that one. And at very most, I think it's just, it's funny that like it's all these DC characters and figures that, you know, aren't exactly flying off the shelves.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think there's something aloof, if you ask me.
Dude, I don't know, Keco. It's a really tough question to answer. And I feel like the cop-out answer, which is probably the correct one, is that we just don't know because we have to wait for more information. Because this is like, you know, at least new, like I said, to the last year of collecting, right? So I've talked to Optical and other collectors who have, you know, been in this game longer, and they've said that this has happened before, where it's happened, he said with Star-Lord V1 and with the, I think the BVS Batman, the Ben Affleck, right? It went on waitlist, then eventually it was brought back.
They do that. They do that a lot. Like
yeah,
the sold out, like, oh, it's sold out, then it randomly shows back up. I mean, they kind of do that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is kind of odd. The thing is that, am I stressed about it? And that's the other thing is like, do you really think that there's a bunch of people that went and bought a quarter scale statue? Essentially, I mean, I just don't, that one's just really hard for me to swallow as well.
Yeah.
I think they're cherry picking, and you know, you can throw this in my face later on saying, oh, you're a loser, you were wrong. And everything's out of stock and I can't get anything. So, but I think they're picking things that they know are not at risk or whatever. And they're putting them on low stock, you know, just to see what happens. I just don't buy this one, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted, dude. I feel like I'm starting to buy that it might be real, but I don't have really any basis to go off of other than the fact that I feel like the more I've kind of talked about this with people, the more I kind of understand the dead stock argument. Like Sideshow is starting to discount
I get
things.
dead stock. I get that.
Yeah.
I do. And we've talked about that, I think, on this very show.
They're
but
trying.
my thing is that you're gonna have to, I want to hear it from Sideshow saying, hey, we're going to be doing a limited amount of pre-orders. I need to hear that from them, because otherwise that's piss poor business again. If you are literally cutting off your fan base, because if there's people that want these and there's no incentive to pre-order other than just, well, I won't get mine, then okay, I'm gonna go find it somewhere else. Then I will find another retailer. And if they're not going to communicate that, they're shooting themselves in the foot. And that's the thing, is that there's no, this is our new business practice, this is our new standard operating procedure. I need to see that. Until they tell me that, I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, and we just got a super chat from the Clone Collector. I'll pull him up. The Marty McFly is sold out on Sideshow. I saw Carlos was mentioning that as well.
A release figure is different, I feel, though. That's the pre-order waitlist thing,
right? But that one, it was in stock maybe a couple months, right?
And it came early as well. I mean, it was announced and then it like started shipping in like another month and a half. You know, so that was kind of cool. I mean, and then also someone messaged me this week and said Doc actually got moved up to October of 2022. He's moved up a whole year.
Really?
On site. Pull that up on the new doc or whatever.
This is the Marty or the doc.
They changed the wait list, or not the wait list. They changed the release date for Doc.
Okay.
And if that's the case, I mean, cool. I mean, because I definitely want that. Go ahead and move up the DeLorean while we're at it.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I'll pull it up right now. It's you know, it's true, all of it, because October 2022 to December 2022.
I mean, that's technically a month or so away, and that's a Sideshow release. Could we see Doc release in Hong Kong in the next week or so? It's entirely possible. Maybe.
Clone Collector, thanks so much for the super chat, bro. And Feezy's Figures said, has Sideshow ever been transparent about these type of things? I honestly don't know. No, not that I know of. I don't think they will be either, because, you know, they don't want to give away their business strategies. But to me, Keco, the dead stock thing is kind of where I start to understand it, because you're starting to see Sideshow already discount things pretty heavily right now anyway. Like you're seeing, and it's working, right? Because that Thanos Infinity War is waitlisted now, right? And it was in stock for years.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, dude, that figure is so good. That's like such an underrated figure.
And let me just say, he looks so incredible with my full black order now, because I have the full black
nice.
order.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
man.
I was hoping
Solid.
Hot Toys would make those, but I knew it was never going to happen. So
Yeah, I got them now. That's the one, like, I'm not the big, I know it's another conversation for another time, but I'm not the biggest like third party, fill out the line type of guy, because you will suffer in quality compared to, the big names and such. But damn, am I so happy to have the black order. They're so good.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, I have the black order from Iron Studios, so I just kind of went with that instead. So I went with that line. But dude, nice. I love the black order, so I'm excited about them. Carlos dropped a super chat for us. Sideshow is limiting PO for low selling products like DC quarter scale vehicles, pop replicas, etc. Give it some time. We'll see time PO after the holidays. This is not a bluff. Thanks so much for the super
chat.
They
need to communicate that. Then they need to communicate that, because there's so many people crying like that. It was the bullshit about the hologram and the exclusives and the pitiful marketing campaign, because people saw right through that. Well, some people didn't, but a lot of people did. And they're like, I'm not buying that. I don't need some damn hologram that's going to sit in the box. I'll wait for it coming in stock in 3 years, so they need to communicate that if that's the case. They have to do that.
Yeah. I get what you mean, dude. It's, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I kind of want to see how this is going to shake out, because this is, very influential in terms of how everyone's going to collect, because I think we've all been on the NOPO train, right? We've all been on the NOPO train because there's no reason to pre-order. Like if you pre-order as of now, the last year, you've been burned many times, because you got Sideshow discounting Boba Fett 2-pack by 25% already. Wait till Black Friday if it's not sold out. It'll be 35, right? It's going to be...
Can I address something that Carlos just said?
Yeah.
He said, if I'm Sideshow, I ain't saying shit. There it is right there. So Sideshow gave me back over $200 in refundable deposits this week back to my bank account. Do they want to keep doing that? If they're not going to communicate with me, then I will not pre-order from them at all, because there's no incentive to. Yeah. So if they're like, hey, yeah, here's your money. Do you want this figure? We don't know when it's coming. We can give you your deposit back. Yeah, cancel that shit. Give me my deposit back and we'll talk later. You need to tell me something if that's the case.
Right. Dude, and I think honestly, man, that I'm starting to wonder, because I talked to, like I said, more to Optical about this, right? And he was saying that's kind of how a small retailer would think about dead stock, right? But then, like, I talked to other people, and like Carlos, who are saying like, okay, well, dead stock really matters because it's not good for a company's overall health and value, right? So if you have so much dead stock, they just got rid of the Hulkbuster. Sideshow's been doing way more discounts than they've ever done before. Like I've never, for as far as what I've seen in the last couple of years, I've never seen these level of type of discounts. Rescue was 30%. Mark 5 was 25%. Or not Mark 5, Mark 50, sorry. Thanos was 30% with free shipping. Like Boba Fett 2-pack's only been out like 6 months and it was 25% off. So there are a lot of stock movement things going on right now. There's a lot of movement going on with this stock. So I think I don't know, Keco. I'm kind of conflicted on it, man. I feel like we need more information to know for sure, but I do understand what you're saying too. And I talked to other people about that, like Optical, where like, hey, Sideshow doesn't want to be the website where everything's sold out, right? Because then where are you going to go buy it from? You're going to go to Toys Wonderland, or you're going to go to some of the other retailers, right? So they don't want to be in that position. But at the same time, they can't really compete with Toys Wonderland price-wise anyway. So it's almost like, why even try? Like maybe try to create like a little bit of FOMO and a little bit of, rush to pre-order, because right now their pre-orders have to be suffering majorly.
Right. And I've told you that on this very stream about like, what can we do? And I was like, man, give me a percentage off to pre-order, or give me some upgraded shipping, give me a reason. And they're not doing anything. So they just can continue to just refund me. I mean, if that's what they want to keep doing. I mean, if sit on dead stock, have nothing pre-ordered, and just keep giving me refunds, that is the testament of a bad business, if you ask me. Yeah. And I get what you mean. It's one of those situations though, Keco, where I just feel like they're trying a little bit like baby steps, like the timed exclusives, right? Giving you something, or, I would have felt like the Cyborg one, that's a good exclusive. You get a second head sculpt. That is something worthwhile, right? That probably should have been timed. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things that I don't know what to believe at this point. It might be a bluff, but I'm also starting to believe that this might be something they're trying out. This might be something to see how it goes. They don't want to, I guess you just have to weigh the speculation of the value of dead stock versus the value of being sold out and them going to buy from somewhere else. Is Sideshow carrying that much dead stock worth their while?
Or is it more so a matter of like they really just want to always have availability so people don't go buy elsewhere? But the problem is, even if you have availability, it doesn't mean they're going to buy from you, because they've been trying to sell that Thanos for 4 years. So just having it available doesn't mean it will sell. So people will still go buy it from Toys Wonderland because it's cheaper there, even though Sideshow has it. So that's kind of where I'm like, this might be a new thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's a bluff. Guess we'll find out.
That we will, my friend. That we will.
We shall. Dude, I don't know, man. It's like, it's a new time, dude. It's a new time. I don't even know what to think right now. It's like, but dude, Keco, I want to ask you something. Do we want things to stay the same? Because I'm actually going to pull up probably Toys Wonderland and some other places about pricing. And like, if you go in any Facebook group, right? Try to sell a figure that's not even brand new, right? That's still in stock, or even if it's not in stock, what are you going to get for it? Probably less than what you paid for it, unless you bought it low, right? So it's a buyer's market, definitely not a seller's market right now, because of the recession, because of the oversaturation, the abundance of options, the abundance of figures. There's so many different companies, there's so many different offerings, so many different variants of each figure. Do we want things to stay that way, or do we want to maybe either regress back to a state where things held their value pretty well, or maybe even appreciate in value? What do you think, Keco? Do we want this market to stay the way it is?
No, and I think FUC Carlos said the exact same thing. Hell no. We're collectors at the end of the day. I mean, you don't collect simply to hoard. I mean, you collect things because it either has an emotional or sometimes even a monetary value to you. That's the whole point of, holding on to something as opposed to, letting it go. So I know it's a terrible idea to get into this to make money. I know some people during like the pandemic days, is when they first found out about Hot Toys. Oh my God, there's some figures, that were retail $200 and they're going for like $700 to $800 now. And they're like, I'm gonna go and buy all that stuff, and I'm gonna retire off that. And that's pitiful, piss poor type decision making when it comes to that. But at the same time, no one wants to get hype about a figure, get it in, and then just continue to see its value just be obliterated. No one wants that either. So with that being said, is that, do we want things to stay the same? No. But for me, my thing, and I say it on my other podcast with Dave, is that I sometimes feel like I'm a little bit of an elitist, and I like to have things that others don't have. And I'm willing to work hard to pay more for things that others don't have. And that gives you an incentive to work, and that gives you an incentive to try things that you wouldn't necessarily try. And for me, that's my mindset, is that I always want to continue to push myself. So if there's no reason for me to push myself to obtain something, then why am I doing XYZ? Going back to what we talked about beforehand, before we got online here, going to the gym and all that stuff. I wake up in the morning because, I have this goal that I want to attain. And that's why I do that. So for collecting, is that, yes, I would love to have things in my collection to where people come up here and say, wow, this is so cool. Tell me about this. And I'll be like, yeah, this Venom piece right here is one of 400. There's only 400 of these in the entire world. You see this, right here? This is my Emperor back there. That is number 10 of this entire run. Can you believe that? And that's fun conversations. It's funny, I'm talking all about statues, isn't it?
See?
But with that being said, is that I'm not saying, go ahead and put numbered runs on these things, but this is not good for the collecting community, to where I remember a year and a half ago, 18 months ago, when before there was the Shore Trooper re-release, people were paying $500, $600, $700 for a Shore Trooper. Now you can get one if you wanted for $100, it seems. This really good. I mean, I took a picture of this photo and put it on my Instagram. People are like, oh, I hate this figure. This is a good figure for, half of what, people would get it at retail. And I don't know, man. This is not cool to me. I know we've done it on different streams before about like adding what the final total and the taxes and all that stuff eventually comes to, what your out the door cost is going to be once it's shipped. Right. And I don't know how different that is, but I don't know. No, I don't want things to stay the same. Sorry, I rambled for a minute.
No, I think I'm with you, Keco. Like because everything has a cost, right? The cost right now is the secondary value, because you're getting these figures for $140 on Toys Wonderland, or maybe Sideshow will drop the price by 25% or 30% or whatever. But just trust me on this one, and people have probably done this one. Go and try to sell one of the figures you bought for retail and tell me how that goes. because it's just not going to happen. Like it's not even close. Even if the figure is not in stock anymore. Like if you bought Nebula for retail, try and go sell Nebula for retail. Like, I mean, it's, even Mysterio, right? Who's a fantastic, and Nebula's good too, but Mysterio's a fantastic figure, been sold out for a while. You're probably selling it for at best retail.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, Marvel's the down market right now. I mean, obviously with it just not clicking on all cylinders like it once was before Endgame and things like that. But man, I mean, you look at some of those prices. I mean, how do you compete with that if you're Sideshow? I mean, what do you do? And then if you do have this figure and you got it, maybe it was pre-ordered and you had it in, and you're like, shit, this doesn't fit my collection. You just automatically going into the red on the old spreadsheet that you and I talk about. I mean, that's discouraging. That's discouraging for real.
Yeah, I think it is too. And that's kind of why, yes, at the end of the day, the value is the most important thing. The most important thing is the love of collecting, the love of the not the value. The love of the character, the love of collecting is the most important thing. Value is important. It's not the A1 number one thing, but it is important because if you're looking at your collection and you want to trade things in and out, which isn't always great, but say you want to buy an updated version, right? Yeah, you're going to lose a little bit on the figure, but if you're losing half, that gets pretty old pretty quickly because you're going to run out of money really quickly, right? Yeah. Like I said, it's about the love of the character and the joy of collecting, but at the same time, like there is monetary value to these. And like, I'm investing in something, basically. I'm investing my time, my energy, my money into this. I'm not looking to make money, but I'm looking to at least kind of be close to even, right? Like it's kind of important. I feel like, because it's not, I don't want to just burn money or flush it down the toilet. Right. And that's what I feel like can happen when you buy a Mark 50 for retail and you have to sell it for $250. So
I mean, I mean, remember that episode of The Office where they go to David Wallace's? Did you ever watch The Office?
Yeah, dude, I've watched the show like six times.
Just making sure everyone's gonna get this reference. So when they go to David Wallace's house party and Dwight's going around there, he's like, David, what's the square footage on this place? And he's like,
right,
Dwight, that's incredibly rude. David, how much did this house cost? So here's my thing. You can ask me how much my house costs, but because it's up right now because of the market and all that stuff. But if you go into my collection room and someone's like, hey, how much is this worth? I'm afraid to tell you right now because I was like, well, how much did you pay for this? Well, I paid twice what it's actually worth. That sucks. That really does.
Yeah. And it's not like, so I don't think necessarily most of us are looking for an appreciation in value for most things. Like,
right,
yeah, that'd be
great.
Want
it to crater out though.
Yeah, I don't want to crater. Like, for example, it's not a car, right? Where like if I buy it, it's going to continue to depreciate in value because I'm using it. A figure I'm not using, I'm just putting it on the shelf, right? So it's not an iPhone where it's going to depreciate because of you're going to use it for years, right? It's not really the same thing. So I overall really would like my figures to hopefully maintain value, which, it's not the number one most important thing to me, but it does matter. It's not irrelevant. And I think that's why I kind of want the market to change, maybe to go back to the way it was or evolve in a different type of way. But the current state it's in right now, it's not in a good spot. This is not a good spot for 1/6 right now. Maybe I kind of like the way InArt's doing it right now, where like they have a window for pre-orders. And then you get that, and then maybe they'll make a couple hundred more at release or something, and then that'll be it, right? So then when that sells out, and hopefully it's really good, then people will be like, oh, this is not readily available at my fingertips all the time. So it has that value. Yeah. So it's one of those things I feel like. But I'm hoping, Keco, that there's an evolution that happens here, there, where we can see the market.
Yeah.
Start to kind of heal.
What is the one thing? I know you've been asking all the questions, so I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the one thing that you want? What if you could change one thing? What would that be? Is it limited runs, like numbered? Is it just what is the one thing? Maybe this is the $1 million question, but what is the one thing you would want?
I think honestly, the best way to approach it is kind of what Sideshow might be doing. Honestly, I feel like it's one of those things where not numbered, because I don't think Hot Toys is ever going to do that. I don't think it's realistic. That would be great, but I just don't think they're ever going to do it.
Well, I think Sideshow used to do the old like military masters, the Sideshow Star Wars. We know exactly how many of those there were, and that's why some of those, like the ARC Troopers and such, are so limited, is because we know exactly how many there are.
Right,
and that's why they retain their value.
And what I've been following, Keco, so this is Alter Ego Comics, right? This is one of the Sideshow partners, distributors in the US, right? Great shop, great place to buy from. I've been watching them for a while, and their Tumblr They've had 9 in stock for like forever, dude. And they've been discounting it by $50 and they still can't sell them. Like, that's not a good place for business, right?
Is that free shipping?
No, I don't think so. It's like $40 though. It's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, $40. So it's better than Sideshow. And I don't think they're charging you tax there, which is nice. So that's a pretty sweet deal for the tumbler, right? That's pretty good. So I mean, and that's the type of thing that this is just hard to sell. I mean, they've also had the Boba Fett 2-pack. And I think that one, let me see here. It says right in here. They've had that one discounted for a while too. It's only $40 off, but they've had it for a while, right? That's where I kind of feel like, man, the market's kind of not in a good state. It's in a state where, yeah, you can buy anything you want. You can get a really good price, but like, what does that mean for the businesses and shops? Like, how much longer can they do this? Because, I don't think this is all Toys Wonderland. I think they're a big part of it, but I think they've, I think there's oversaturation for sure. But to me, Keco, to answer the question, I feel like a pre-order window might be helpful if it's realistic to still move the amount of volume they want to move. And then maybe like say, okay, here's the number of pre-orders we got. And then we'll make a set number on top of that based on waitlist, popularity, right? Because then at that point, you still have something that is collectible. And you still have something that's still mass produced, but you have something I think that creates a little bit better of a state for the market. Because I feel like, I don't know if it's Disney or Hot Toys or Sideshow, whoever wants this amount of overproduction, but it just seems like too much right now. It just seems like, I don't know if it's the recession, overestimation of the demand, but I would say maybe kind of the way InArt is doing these pre-orders. I kind of like that. I kind of like, I think it creates something a little bit unique, even the way third party do them, because look at those Final Fantasy game toys figures, dude. Those things are crazy. Like those things are, it's not like I don't want other people to have things, but it's kind of like if you want the market to be in a good state, you have to create a little less availability. Like when you're on the dating market, right? If you're always available for the girl, then she's not going to like you as much.
100%.
Because like you're like always there, right? You're like always there. Like, what do you need? What can I do? Because I've done it. We've all done it. Like, yeah, we've all done it. We've all been like overexcited and overzealous, right? It creates away some of the chase, right? It creates some of the because then they're like, well, why would I have to try if you're going to like me even if I don't try, right? So at that point, the market's kind of like that right now. Hot Toys has so much. Why would we really care about them to buy them? Because it's like, well, they're always available. Like I can get them. It's like going to Walmart and looking for tuna fish. It's always there, right? Right. Like that's kind of my thing. So to answer your question, what do you think about it though?
Well, I will say, because I got to plug Hoodville, because I love Hoodville. It's one of my favorite accounts ever. Just like he says, is that treat her like a queen, she'll leave you on scene.
See?
Yeah, you can't make yourself that available. But
hey, I've done it, dude. So trust me, it's a bad strategy. I've learned.
Right. I really think the thing for me is that if you're going to do a pre-order window, give it to me at a certain cost. And then you can say, okay, once it's here, it's going up to this price. That way you can guarantee that you can manage your inventory and you can manage your numbers and your budgets at that point, because you can say, okay, this is how much we're getting it for. If we get this many pre-orders, and maybe, I don't know who runs their finances or anything like that, but maybe once they say, okay, we're going to set what that after pre-order price is going to be based on those pre-orders. So if 3 people pre-order something, it's going to be 10 times what it was, after. Just give me a reason to pre-order. That's it. And just give me a discount, give me a pre-order, and I'll be in. And that's it. That's literally the thing I think would be so helpful to me, because if they want to have some stock, I mean, I love the reputation that, Sideshow has, but there's better options right now. There just really are.
And I don't know, Keco, if there's a way to do, like you said before, first batch, second batch. I don't know if there's a way. I guess it depends on how. It might be difficult practically because you have to know how much of volume you're going to sell to even have multiple batches. It might be Peacemaker and it's one batch, right? And then everyone just gets it and you're like, well, shit, I paid for first batch. What the fuck, right? So like that might be a problem. Yeah. Unless you're
I don't get paid to make the logistics. I'm just saying do something. Do we want them to stay the same?
Point.
No,
like maybe
we do not want them to stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to stay the same too. But I'm wondering with the logistics with that. I don't know, man. I don't know. See, we could talk about this for like 2 hours.
I know. It's a dark hole.
But see, like logistics of that, Keco, I'm interested in. I don't know. It's all speculation. Most of these live streams we're speculating based on the limited amount we do know. So But man, I don't know. I do want it to change though. I do want it to change. It's too available right now. It's like it's when you're like I said, it always comes back to the dating game, bro. If they're too available, it's not fun. Like it's where's the chase, man? It's like, you gotta make the person work for it a little bit. You gotta earn your love, so to speak. That's how you do it, man. So, but Keco, I want to ask you, there's another sort of event coming on, right? It's called Best Timber, the Sideshow event. So this is another sale they're going to be doing with a bunch of exclusive giveaways, rewards, discounts, things like that. So they're clearly trying to come up with any event possible to move some stock, right? So that's kind of what Keco, why I'm starting to come around to the idea that maybe this is something that's going to happen in terms of limiting runs, because Sideshow is clearly trying to move some dead stock right now. No doubt. And wait till Black Friday. Black Friday, man, I think you're going to see some crazy shit. I think you might even see like Rescue at 40% off or something like that.
I mean, I hope so. I may grab some things, just to resell it later on.
Right. What exactly, Keco? What do you think, dude? Are we expecting like massive discounts from this one before Black Friday? Because this is coming up in 9 days. I mean, this is a little bit after Labor Day. It's kind of like a Labor Day sale.
I'm probably the wrong guy to ask when it comes to this, honestly. Just because I got the Sideshow email. This immediately went to the trash. I didn't even look at it because
nice.
I not to be that guy, but I pretty much, if it's in stock on Sideshow, I already have it. So there's nothing that they could give me to incentivize me to be like, oh, $10 off? Hell yeah.
$10 off.
I mean, there's nothing that I want. And so if they'd be like, all right, here it is, Best Ember is coming, then hey, pre-order Riva, 25% off Riva and free shipping. Boom. I'm done. I'm in. That's it. But there's nothing in stock that I want. There's literally nothing to ask. So maybe the wrong person to ask for this one. But yes, I think there's more massive discounts coming, 100%.
Yeah, because you tend to go with like, Pop Collectibles and other places to get it faster, right?
I do. And we've talked about that, is that I think Drago's about to bark any second because I just heard the door open.
You could sense it.
So with that being said, is that, because to me, price doesn't mean anything to me. Speed means something to me. I love being able to walk in and see that, cables on my shelf, the Dark Troopers on my shelf, all those things that just came out, they're on my shelf. That's what I care about, because I do not want to wait 18 months for something. I just don't. As soon as it's out, I want to have it. And so I'm, like I said, maybe the wrong guy to ask for this one.
No, I think it's totally fair. I mean, it's more so just kind of wondering, like, how much can Sideshow start discounting things before it's to the point where like, oh, we might be like losing money on this stuff. I'm sure they know their bottom line better than anybody, but it's like, I've not been used to Sideshow really discounting figures to this degree, besides like the First Order Stormtroopers or Snow Troopers or whatever, right? Something like that, or Chitauri or something, they'll discount. Right?
I will say this, is that I still don't have any Chitauri. So if they do go to like, hey, here's a coupon, you'll get a red balloon and some Chitauri for $10, then yeah, I'll probably get on that.
See, there you go, right? And that's how they do it, because like I told you, the Thanos Infinity War had been sitting on the website and, immobile, not moving at all, right? Now it's on waitlist. So it worked, right? And we'll see if that Boba 2 pack, because that 25% is getting people's attention. Whereas before, that Boba 2 pack was probably not moving like hardly at all, it seemed like, right? And now you take off 25% and people are listening.
Well, here's the question for you, Will.
Yeah, what's up?
And like I said, I may be the wrong person. And of course, Carlos says, price doesn't mean anything. Look at Keco swinging his big dick around. With that being said, is that what entices you? Is it free shipping? Is it a certain percentage off? What is it that what gives you, it makes you have a second look?
So for me, dude, free shipping is a big one, because I live in Maryland, right? So from California to Maryland, it's like maybe $20 a figure, but for a bigger figure, it might be more. But if I'm going to buy like the tumbler,
like 40 to get it to Tennessee here from
40.
Sideshow. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I don't like that.
I'm in a good spot then. But what I would say is like, say the tumbler, for example, right? Or the Hawkbuster before it's sold out. That, if it's free shipping, that grabs my attention, because I'm like, okay, that might have costed me $60, $70 to ship or more. Sure. And then now that grabs my attention. If it's a statue, definitely grabs my attention, because a lot of them are $100 or more to ship it, right? So if it's a Hot Toys, not as much. But for me, nowadays, with the way the current market is, I feel like you have to offer at least 20% to get people's attention. Like that's fair. If you offer a 10% discount, it's not enough. It's not enough right now. Like if you
No,
try to
that's
discount,
tax. Tax in Tennessee is 9.5 or whatever. That's
damn, dude,
literally
it's
just
like
taking a
6
tax.
here in Maryland.
All right.
So,
Pretty
but
terrible.
but say rescue at 30, right? That's enough to get people's attention. But if you put rescue at 15, not enough. Now where it's going, now where it's for what it's going on pop culture or Toys Wonderland or whatever, right? So to me, free shipping is a big one. I think if you're going to offer these, offer them and free shipping. So you're going to give, if you can afford it, Sideshow, but like 20%, 25% and free shipping, right? That's what gets people's attention, I feel like. If you have one or the other, yeah, kind of. But then when you factor in the shipping, it's kind of like, yeah. So like Tully had said, 25% off was enough for the Mark 50. Exactly. I think 25 is probably the base. Like if you offer 10 to 15, maybe, but probably not enough to get people's attention. Boba Fett though, 2-pack, 20, 25%. Okay. You have my curiosity. Now you have my attention, right? That's where you're at with that. But what about you, Keco? Do you need what do you need? 25 minimum probably?
Like I said, the shipping is going to be a big one for me simply because, I mean, right now shipping is god awful. So give me some free shipping, and I think that 20% will get me to look. 25 is real enticing, like you had mentioned. I mean, you're getting 1/4% off, and especially if it's a higher end, type figure, a Hulkbuster or something like that. Replay Toys, like where I go and get all my statues, essentially. They, through their rewards program, gives you 15% off, and I love that. 15% off a statue. I mean, that's fucking awesome. But if you get like 25% off, 1/4% of what it is, now we're talking. I think that's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, and with statues, especially the bigger the bill, the more the discount. But, I'm hoping that one day we won't have to have these as much because, like I said, the market will heal a little bit more. Maybe we'll get them on Black Friday or something.
Nature is
But
healing.
we're getting them. We're getting them so regularly, man. It's like, what's a discount anymore? Because it's
right. It's like almost like they're
yeah.
tipping their hand saying, hey, this is how much we can really sell these for. And the more you do this, they'll be like, well, I'll just wait. Because like most people say, they just want to wait for the best deal. They'll be like, yeah, I'll wait 18 months. I'll wait 3 years to get this. Because how long has been Infinity War Thanos been out? 3+ years?
Yeah, probably 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be like, if I really want it, I'll wait 3 years. That's cool. And I mean, they shoot themselves in their foot. I just don't understand the logic behind it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I think it's just moving dead stock at this point. But I mean, I don't know, man. We're going to find out, I think, with how this shakes out. But Keco, I got one more topic on the docket for us. But this, I think, is going to be a good one. Because you kind of, implied some of this or hinted at some of this, right, on where you kind of stand on this. I want to get your opinion on what you care the most about, and then also your opinion on what you think most people care the most about. Because it's kind of like a two-parter in that sense, right? But there's always the trifecta, I guess, the pyramid of, do collectors care about speed, price, or customer service / safety, right? So those are the big three. And they're all important in one way or another. But I'm just wondering what you think most people care about the most. Because I think if you asked this question a year and a half ago, I think people would have said speed. Because Captain America of Sideshow took months. Beskar Mando took months, right? Now they're getting things faster. Now everything's lower in price, right? It's different. It's a different time. So I would say most people seem to care about price nowadays based on the current market. But what do you care most about here?
Well, as I said, I kind of tip my hand on that, and everyone's going to be different because it depends on what your current life situation is, and if you have a little bit extra disposable income, then yeah, you can throw that elsewhere. If you are still a diehard collector and you say, man, I love to collect, but I just can't justify these prices, then yeah, I mean, price is going to be, something that you look at because that's going to probably be a majority of where most people will fall is the bottom line price. And to me, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but to me, it blows my mind that people are like, I will wait it out till it is at the bargain bin to get this thing. But for me, I collect things because it brings me hype and gets me excited about something that, because the collectible is an encapsulation of something that means something to you. It's either a movie moment or it's a character that means something to you. And so if you've been looking forward to something and you're looking forward to that moment, for me, I want to experience that moment. It's kind of like when you're looking forward to your birthday. It's like we'll get to my birthday whenever. It's cool. It's coming. We'll celebrate it whenever. But no, you look forward to that day, and you'd be like, okay, this is the time where people are going to celebrate me, and we blah 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 blah, and you look forward to that day. But for some people, it'll happen. So to answer the question, speed is everything to me. But for a lot of people, it is honestly going to be coming down to price and when it gets there. But we've talked about this before on another show, is that the customer service and whether or not you actually receive it, I think is starting to tick into that actual top tier. Is because some people are like, do I really want to take a chance on not getting this or getting scammed? I mean, I think there's few and far between people that don't actually get anything. And, we love to look at our Reddit posts and our Facebook posts and all those different things about people crapping on said company or whatever it may be. I don't think there's very few people that said they've never gotten anything from these people. They usually either get it or it was a bad experience or it took too long, they paid too much, but they get the figure. But nowadays, I think the knowing that it's going to come and you're getting it for the best price, that combination is probably going to be what sells everything. And so at the end of the day, people are going to chalk up price for speed, and then customer service is going to be the 1A next to that thing.
Yeah. And I think with the way the market, the way the market currently is, price is the number one for most people, I would say, because it's a different game than, like I said, it was even a year or a year and a half ago, right? Where, like I said, it was more about, the temptation of getting it fast, right? Even if you weren't a content creator, if you weren't reviewing, right? If you could get, like, for example, for me, I knew everything was getting delayed a really long time with Sideshow, right? I really wanted that Mysterio. So I paid $40 to $50 more than I would have at Sideshow through Tim Cent to get it faster. And I did. But nowadays, no chance I would do that. Because again, everything's so available. Sideshow is getting things faster. Everything's so prevalent. Like I said, it always comes. It's like,
just this week, people started to get Sideshow orders for, hey, the book of Boba Fett is coming out. Apparently, people
the
are starting
shipping,
to get their things.
The repaint armor,
And I know it's always so hit or miss. Like, some things come early, some things come late, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I don't know, man.
Well, that's why, man. Like I said, if logistically it would work out for Sideshow to offer some kind of first batch, second batch system, that might be kind of cool, because for the people who don't care about waiting, which is most of us nowadays, okay, you get a discount, right? You get a 15% discount for pre-ordering, and you get second batch. So you get later batch, might be maybe a month or after the original batch, right? If they could work out something like that, maybe they've already talked about that type of thing, but something like that, right, would be kind of cool. I think most people nowadays, I think speed is probably third on this list for most people. I think the way that the market currently is, with the oversaturation and over availability of it, price is number one to me. I think safety and customer service is number two, and speed is three. Because for most people, they're not really going to, I feel like most people anyway are probably not going to want to buy from Toys Wonderland unless the price is just too good to ignore. To, like, where the price is like, okay, I'm going to take this risk, right? Because I can get something for $115, whereas Sideshow, it's $230. So I'll roll those dice. And see how that shakes out. You could also, get first batch or whatever, but it just doesn't pay to do that nowadays, right? So they're just undercutting Sideshow, and that's kind of the market we're in right now. But Keco, with you, man, I know you said speed is most important. Has that changed at all for you? Like, has it changed? Has it moved the meter at all?
No. I can't say no 100%. If Sideshow can continually put out things within 2 weeks of when Hong Kong gets them, okay, I'll even say this. If they put it within a month, guaranteed, of when Sideshow releases them, I'll go back to Sideshow. But until then, I am not sitting there watching reviews and seeing people taking, because I like the pictures. I like to take the pictures. I like to photo them. I want to put them in my display. When I see people with them, I want them. I want to have them. I want to experience what other people are having. And I will give you 30 days, the 30-day window. If you can't get it to me in under 30 days, I'm going to go elsewhere. And I know that's not exciting for everybody, because, you may pay a premium for that. But to me, I want to experience this. Life is too short to wait around, man. I mean, I'm just that, I'm 36. I'm going to be 36. I'm aging myself. I'm going to be 36 years old in November. And I'm shocked how much time has gone by since, I've been married for 5+ years now, and life goes by really, really quick. So I'm not going to spend it waiting around for things. If I have an opportunity to expedite the process, to have more fun and enjoy things, I'm going to be over that all day.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't know you were 36. I'm 31. I thought you were my age or younger, dude.
It's the nice skin, right?
Yeah, dude, it's exactly, man. It's the
But no,
nice
I'll be
skin.
36 in November, so make sure we have a special birthday stream for that.
Nice, dude. Birthday stream on that one. Dude, that's awesome though, man. Like I said, you look very good for 36, man. You look like a young,
Thank you. I have a nice
you
baby
look like
face.
a young 30, dude, like me. So people always think I'm older though. I think it's the baldness. I think it's like when you're bald, you just look older. I don't know.
But I will say, Will, since you got on Team Beard, I mean, I feel like that dropped you back into your early 20s or mid 20s.
Oh, thanks,
to be
dude.
honest.
Because I cover up the wrinkles. That's why with the beard. So that's how
yeah.
you do it.
If anyone sees like my actual smiles, and I got to do certain lighting here. If you see my actual smiles and my crow's feet and all that stuff, it's pretty terrifying. And if it wasn't for my wife having wonderful products and such, I could look pretty terrible.
Dude, that's how you do it, man. Carlos told me I look 40. So get the fuck out of here. I'm going to time out Carlos. I'm going to time his ass out. Alien Queen said 31 here. What's up? Tully said 38. Guys, thanks so much for sharing that information. Yeah, I mean, the 30s club. I think most collectors, I feel like we got some younger ones like KG and Riley, but most of us are like probably late 20s, early 30s, I would think, or mid 30s. So some older than that. But
I am, to be honest, is that I'm honestly envious of those young collectors and young people that have YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, and things like that. When I was 18, 19, I had nothing going for me. Nothing. I mean, granted, the world's changed quite a bit, but it wasn't until I met my wife, honestly, that things actually started to click for me and things actually go the right way. But I would have loved to be able to collect hot toys at like 18, 19 years old. And so when I was like 19, I was being shamed for my collecting, and I had to basically sell all my stuff, with previous relationships and things like that.
Really?
And that's another conversation for another time, is that, I was not allowed to be me until I hit 30, honestly. And so I was finally able to be back to being my nerd self, once I got into my 30s. And so we've gotten completely off topic here, but yeah, there you go.
No, but that's an important one. I mean, I think just as we kind of wrap things up here, I think that's something that maybe we should talk about in another stream, like being the importance of being yourself, right? I've really learned that myself over the past even couple months, right? When it comes to collecting or otherwise, like, of course you want to be the best polished version of yourself, but you never want to be someone else that I think someone else wants you to be, or what you think they want you to be, right? As collectors, like, we want to embrace our collection, have fun with it. And we always want to be around people that accept us for being ourselves, right? You don't ever want to put on a mask or a costume to be, unless you're cosplaying or something. But I mean, like, more so, figuratively, right? I think more. And
can I make one more PSA just for younger
for
listeners out there? Is just, since we have the audience, might as well say, I said it in my last video, is collect your age. Don't collect somebody that's in their 35, 40 mark or whatever. If you're 18, collect like you're 18. Work on that, McDonald's budget or whatever it is that you're working at that time. Don't be like, oh, I got to get 6 hot toys a month. That doesn't make any sense. Collect like you're 18, collect like you're 30, and don't try to compete with other people based on, oh, I saw somebody got this the other day, so those clone troopers are shipping, I got to get one because I got to show it on Instagram, things like that. So those are just things I wish I would have learned as a younger collector.
And I think too, one of the things I learned just by doing this for a couple of years is it's really not a competition, because it's one of those where, like, oh man, I want to have the best display on the live streams, or I want to have like the coolest collection I can share on the group so I can get validation from other people, right? It becomes like, a poor game that you're playing, because it's like the only person that needs to validate you is you, right? So
Carlos just said, act your wage. I love that.
Act your wage. And the more you try to, get other people's approval and validation, it's never a winning game, right? So it's, so I would say collect what you love, build your display how you want to build it, do the best you can with it. But at the end of the day, man, it's about what you're happy with. What makes you happy when you walk into your collection,
100%,
right?
100%.
If it doesn't make you happy, or you just feel nothing when you see it, you should sell it. That's how I feel. But
or under retail, of course.
Yeah, to me, man. Yeah, for under retail, exactly. Trust me, dude. I've taken so many Power Rangers L's, like you. I've taken I've taken so many L's, but I've had some W's. I mean, I sold Han and Chewie.
Can I? not what were we calling it? No, at retail or whatever. So I told you that I was doing my wins enough thing, and that there was too many things that I had duplicates of and such like that. We'd talked about that, and so I went on a little bit of a purge so I could add some new pieces. And I'm happy to say that I was able to hit retail because I had way too many 501st troopers. I was like, I only need one. I have plenty of clones. I need one 501st. I don't need an army of these. That's not the way my collection is. So I threw those bitches on eBay and I hit retail for those 501st Deluxe. And I consider that a win. That's an absolute win. Dude. Yeah, because nowadays, damn, I mean, because anything could go wrong at this point.
Dude, if it's a retail, it's pretty much a grail at this point.
That's so, what I'm saying. Damn. Yeah. I was able to get Agent Coulson for like $130, which that's my newest piece on the way in. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty exciting, dude. So I just can't wait for Loki to show up. So
one day. In-game Loki, you mean?
Yeah.
One day. What do you think will happen first? The Queen Studios quarter scale Loki statue or the in-game Hot Toys?
Dude, Loki? At this rate, who fucking knows, dude? Because I feel like it should be the in-game Loki, because I think the Queen Studios Loki is set to come out next year, like middle of next year. So it's a while.
Don't count your chickens, buddy. Don't count those chickens.
I know, bro. It's probably going to come out like middle of 2024 or something. So, I'm preparing.
It may be the longest running pre-order ever, because I think Gamora holds that right now.
Pennywise was a while too.
Really? I mean, they're all up there. And I know even Cable was up there for quite a while too.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
of course, the two figures I like wanted more than anything are the ones that get delayed the most. So,
it's you, man. You are the reason that all this is happening.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's got to be, man. It's absolutely got to be. But Keco, thanks so much for joining, dude. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Dude, what's coming up on your channel, man? Thanks for joining. And like I said, it was a blast having you and chatting some cool philosophical shit as always.
Yeah, this is a great topic of conversation today, Will. So thank you for having me on. The things coming to the channel real soon, as I hinted on my Instagram, is that we're doing a statue showcase. Can you believe that?
Ooh, so I see there's Revenant Malik behind you. So.
Yeah, I had a few more statues than I thought I was going to have at this point in the game, and I was like, it's time to show these off. Let's talk about that. And so there's a statue showcase coming on the Instagram. We're still doing the toy photography and things like that, but this is a plea. Will, you texted me early this morning trying to help me out.
Yeah,
there is something. Instagram sucks right now. I can go ahead and say that. And there's people that homie hop for, and I don't like that. If I support you and we support each other, if I'm not making the content for you, by all means leave or whatever. It's the people that like follow you and then they just drop off because they want you to follow. You know what I'm talking about? These type of thing. So anyway, there's a unfollow app that I was using for a while so I could see if people unfollowed me, and if I felt like we were mutual friends and you left me, I'm going to leave you too. Honestly, that's just the way it is.
Dude. I'm not following anybody who doesn't follow me back.
Yeah, that type of thing. And so recently I got logged out of my accounts. I'm like, oh shit, I'm hacked and stuff, because I've had a third-party app that was monitoring my follows, unfollows, and they're like, you can't use this anymore. So I put a plea on Instagram, and so Will, you're like, hey, check this out. And then I go to the reviews. It's like, it'll hack your account. This is no good. Don't use this. It's a scam. Blah blah blah. And so I'm looking for a free but reliable way to track my unfollows, because I don't like the people that homie hop. That's not cool. So if that's out there, that's my thing. But Instagram, I think, is about to go the way of the dinosaur for me. It's still my biggest platform. But thank you, Carlos, for that. With that being said, is that I am currently on Vero, so feel free to check that out. I know people are trying to get that back up and going again, but I think YouTube and maybe Vero are going to be the main avenues for me. But I don't know, man. I still enjoy doing it all, but it's hard to get content traction out there. But yeah, check out that showcase coming soon.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited to see that. Tully, thanks so much, Tully, for the kind words. You've been dropping super nice things all evening. A lot of you guys have. So thanks so much. He said, Will, you rock, bro. One of the coolest dudes creating. Keep at it. Thanks so much, man. I love feedback like that. It keeps me going. So AJ's the same thing. Absolutely fantastic stream tonight, guys. Thanks for doing this tonight. Thanks, man, as always. And yeah, guys, sorry this one's a little bit shorter than usual, but we like to keep
the content is so rich.
Exactly. It's less, it's what is that saying?
It's all meat and potatoes. Yeah, it's all meat and potatoes here. Nothing, no fluff.
Exactly.
No sugary cotton candy shit.
No, none of that, dude. I feel like before we end this, man, when you talk about that, whenever I eat pancakes, I feel like I never get anything out of it. I get the joy out of it right that second, but then an hour later I'm hungry again, and I just sit down 12 pancakes. It's empty carbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, but on the other hand, waffles hit different. Do you like waffles or if you
different.
had a waffles or a pancake, which one would you go with?
I'd probably, fuck, dude, I don't know. Depends where the pancakes are from. I'd probably.
Well, let me throw this wrench in, and we can end with this.
Okay.
When it comes to waffles, there is none better than the Waffle House. If you get a chocolate chip pancake from fucking Waffle House, that shit hits different. Pretty much, it's pretty much our Christmas tradition at this point. Like we go and have like Christmas at Waffle House, you know, and we sit there and get, you know, bacon and eggs, and then my chocolate chip waffle. That's fantastic. Yeah, it'll change your life, man.
See, I've never been to Waffle House. I got to try it.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, I've never been. Dude, we don't have one near me.
You have them in your area?
Go try.
Really?
No, not really. There's someone like the Western Shore of Maryland, like maybe an hour away from me or something like that. But
well, as we've talked about, we'll come visit Nashville here. I will take you to Waffle House, and amongst other things, I will take you to Waffle House.
Dude, we got to go to what's it called? That store? What was it? Replay Toys. Replay Toys. Yeah.
You'll be walking around like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, guys, thanks so much for joining. We'll have another show next Friday for you, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We got Collectors Mingle this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be fun. I'm going to play The Last of Us Remake tonight. Super excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, so people let me know if you want me to stream it because it would be pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to just play it, you know, but I don't know. We'll see. But, guys, thanks so much for joining, and, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. This is bye from me and Keco. We're going to Waffle House. See ya.